Hello there, my name's Vince from My Mate Vince and welcome to the 2025 Advent Repair Challenge. This year I've bought a pallet. It is huge, over 300 kilograms of 40 Amazon items, and I'm going to try to fix them each day in Advent. So you're going to get 24 videos out of me in 24 days. So if you're not sick of me already, by the 24th of December you will be. And look, I've made a real effort. Check out my jumper here. Bullseye! How good is that? As soon as I seen it, I thought I have to have that. But I've learned something. All these years I've been saying super, lovely, smashing great. Lovely doesn't exist. It's just been in my mind. So I'm kind of heartbroken because I can't tell you how many times in my life I've said super, lovely, smashing great. It runs off my tongue perfectly, and now I've got to cut out the lovely bit, so I'm a bit gutted. But anyway, we're going to have plenty of items to get through. I'm going to add up at the end of each day what I think the items that I fixed are worth, if I fix anything. And then at the end of the 24 days, we can compare what I bought the pallet for and what potentially it could be worth to see if it's possible to make money. But even if we can't make money, we're going to have some fun along the way. Now, I don't know what's in this pallet. It is just a pallet that's arrived. It could be full of junk or it could be full of good stuff. The items may be fixable or they might not be fixable. That's all part of the fun. Remember, I am not a professional in these. I am just the same as a dad at home attempting to fix something. So similar, if you bought an Amazon box or a pallet yourself, you might have similar skills to me. So some things I do may be dangerous, might not be the best way of doing things, but I will give it my very, very best attempt. Let's get straight into the first item.
Amazon Basics Shredder.
Here we have an Amazon Basics paper shredder, a really popular model, 33,000 reviews currently on Amazon, around about £28 on Prime, and 700 sold in the last month alone. Now this one on the box says defective motor, does not work or shredder. And yeah, it doesn't work or shred. So if I put this in here, you can see on auto, it's not doing anything. But interestingly, when I place it to fast forward, it doesn't do anything. And reverse, it doesn't do anything. So it doesn't do anything on them, but yet it's not dead. You can see the light lights up here. It is brand new. The packaging's new. I can't see any evidence of use at all. Just trying to do this one-handed. Hold on. There we go. You can see that is faulty from manufacture. So let's bring it over to the mat and find out why it's not working. Right, okay, so there's no point in checking the fuse or anything because we know that power's getting into here. I'm going to say, because this is brand new, that is going to be something straightforward. I'm going to say there's a bad connection on the inside. One of the connectors somewhere has come loose. So I think it's going to be easy. Now that I said that, it's going to be a nightmare. Let me use my special screwdriver that works on everything. Ta-da! And it works on this as well. So if you're wondering what this screwdriver is, it's just a normal flathead screwdriver that I've just taken a groove out of here and here, a little notch. And for some reason, it just seems to do every screw, no matter what it is. It will meet its match one day, but it hasn't met it yet. So this is made in Vietnam, which is a nice change. Well, all the screws are the same, which is good. Here we go. Right, big lumps of grease here. I presume that's just grease, that's gone a little bit more liquid. Right, now, could it be the micro switch that when you put the paper down, it's not, but mind you, when you put it into reverse, it should do it even without that micro switch, I would have thought. What did I say? That's the motor, the connection for the motor. Well, that's very good news for me, because it means my Amazon pallet might be honest fixes, which is brilliant. Clearly nobody's looked at this, because anybody that's happy to use a screwdriver, I think, would have spotted that fairly quickly. Well, there you go. These are honest fixes. Look at this here. There's a tiny little bit of glue there. I'm wondering if they meant to glue that more and they didn't. So, because maybe the vibration's off it. Well, clearly that's just come apart in transit because this hasn't been used. Let's see if it's going to plug nicely back in. There you go. I mean, that locks into place. So at the factory, that just wasn't put in correctly. I wonder, should I, or am I going to tempt fate with that? Am I going to have a load of bother? I wonder, should I try to put a bit of glue on that to stop that happening? Let's just see if I can take this off without it springing everywhere. Yes, I can. Right, so they've put glue on it here, but they kind of missed. It should have been on here and here. I think that's the problem, because that connector's glued to the board here, because I presume there's going to be loads of little pins coming down off that, because I can feel, yeah, all the pins coming down here. But quite simply, they've missed the glue from there. That should have been on there. So let's put our own glue on there. So I'm going to put it here, and then that's not going to come loose. Well, I'll let that solidify. So I let the glue go hard, and I just clip back the plastic cover over it, and then I just have to put the top on and put all the screws back in. Next time you see this now, it will be back in the other room, and we'll test to see if it can actually do any shredding. Apparently this is an 8-sheet shredder, so it can shred up to 8 sheets at a time. Okay, so I'm going to put it to off, so it doesn't scare me. Just plug it in, turn it on, and let's see if reverse will work. There we go. Auto. And fast forward. Not fast forward, forward. Right, okay, so we're on auto now. Let's see if it's going to do this. Yeah. Excellent. Off. And there you go. So it's not a cross shredder, it just shreds it like that there. You know, a product like that I would happily sell on without any hesitation, because I haven't done anything dodgy or dangerous to it. It's just a case of plugging in a connector. So yeah, a nice easy one to start off. Let's do, because that was so simple, let's do another item. Let's do a bonus item in this video.
Portable air conditioner fan.
Next up we have a portable air conditioner. Now it doesn't say what's wrong with this one. I can definitely see it looks like there's some stain in here, so it might be water damaged. I think the reason it says air conditioning is because you can add water. And I presume once you add cold water to it, or ice water, it's going to pump out a little bit cooler air, possibly. There's no power with this one here, which is a shame, but it's got a jack here, and on the bottom it says 24 volts, 1 amp. So I'm just going to use my bench power supply. It doesn't tell me whether it's centre pin positive or negative. I'm going to go positive just because most products are. And yeah, let's see what it's doing. So I've plugged it in here and it does come alive. You can see it's flashing here. Hopefully you'll be able to see that. Now look, if I put it on here, that's speed 1, speed 2, speed 3, but nothing's happening. And then you've got the timer, 2 hours, 4 hours, then off. Light comes on here, but I can't see any lights anywhere. I presume when you press that, it changes colours, but I don't know where it's supposed to light up. And then cool, that comes on there. So, and we have a red light here. But anyway, it doesn't matter what we do. So the buttons appear to be doing something. Hold this down, it goes off. But the fan's not spinning at all. Let's take it apart and see if it becomes obvious. I'm thinking I can see water stain in here, so maybe somebody went to fill it up with water, I'm not quite sure, and spilled it. Maybe they were holding it like this and then it spilt through into here. So maybe it's going to be water damaged on the inside. It says here pass, so it might have been used in an office, July 2022. Looks like it's kind of a bit like a pat test type thing. And retest July 2023. You can see all the salt from the water. Right, so it's definitely waterproof down here. So I think I just have to undo these screws here, and then maybe it will separate. Maybe there's clips up the top. Yes, my special screwdriver works again. Now, you're going to come apart. Going to come apart there. Is there hidden screws anywhere else? Oh, there's loads of screws around here. I can see a load of screws around here. So there's numerous screws to undo around the top, and then the whole thing splits in half. This is the LEDs here. You can see it's just a normal strip. It's a strip that goes all the way around here. So you can see there. And then it goes all the way. So these must be side LEDs. They must be lighting up. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just a strip. It's just lighting up all this area, which is then coming through the front via... Oh, is it around here? I think they're just coming through here. And maybe it's lighting up just around here, possibly. Right, so I can't see how water would have made any difference up there at all. So we need to get into this bit. It's glued in this corner. There we go. Yeah, water damage. Ooh, look at that. Look at that there. Right, let's undo these here. I'm just going to take a picture so I know which way to put them back, in case they're not idiot proof. One's already just popped out now, but that was me. Right, so that's those ones. Wow, okay. Don't think we have to worry about this side here. Quite fiddly to work on. I wasn't expecting so much. Right, we're free. Let's have a look here, because as far as I can see, that all looks okay. That's only plastic. So the fan is not working and the LEDs are not working. And the fan goes down to this one here. Well, I presume it all emanates from here. Let's get rid of all this for a minute. Right now, look at all that corrosion. So we'll have a good close look at that now. Maybe this track's been eaten through, possibly. So what we have is, this is where the fan's connected. We know the fan's not working. This is where the LED's connected. And on this side, it goes down the sort of black heat shrink type thing to the bottom. So I don't know whether that's to measure water. I don't really know what that's for. But anyway, we won't worry about that just yet. So let's, to begin with, kind of looks okay this side, unless that's eaten through. Maybe that vire's eaten through and then it's not going up to, if that one's connected to here possibly. It could be as simple as that. I'm going to get some gloves on, I'm going to get the IPA out. And we'll see what it's doing. Nothing looks burnt though, it's just water damage. Right, although it looks a mess now, it's amazing the difference isopropyl will make on this. So it's always good to try to remember where the corrosion is, because once you start cleaning, most of this will disappear. Oh, look at that. Look at that. You can see it's gone into the board. Look. You ready? Whee! Can you see it moving around? So it's actually gone in through the edge here and it's worked its way into the board. Now, that is going to... Is that going to cause problems? Because we do have wires and stuff here. I wonder, is that going to make any difference? Will it just be eaten through? Or is that just to get the heat out from here? I think that's just to get the heat out from here. Hopefully that will be alright. I don't really know what I can do about that. You can already see that looks 100 times better than before. So let's go to continuity and see if we can find out what's happening. So let's just see if this goes down to here still. I can't tell. Where does that go to, I wonder? So it goes to here. So really we should have it from here, shouldn't we? Look. So through here it goes, I presume that's connected to here. It's a bit hard to see. You know, I don't think it does. I don't think it does. I think it just connects there to there. So, do we have it? No, so that's completely eaten through. So from here, it needs to go to that via there, which is going to be go into that cap. So we should have it between here and here. And I think that's the reason it's not working, because we haven't got anything between here and here. Yeah. Right, I'm going to scrape back and see where we have copper again. I'm going to use my little grinding pen for this. Just want to see if they're joined together. Yeah, they are. Okay, and then you can see this is all eaten through. I am just going to clean up all here just to see, to make sure. Right, so that's not going on to there. All this mess. Might as well take all this off. Look at that, just flaking away. There you go, so that's where it's all lifted. But that's just a massive ground plane. Now, are you going to come back here? Yeah. So you're okay there, and that's all good there. Tiny bit of it left there, and that's definitely not connected to there. Alright, so I've just got to run a wire from here. I'm going to pour this as well. That's flaking off so easy. If I did that on a good part of the board, like if I went here, it's not going to be like that, you see. So I need to run a wire from here to here, or if I wanted to do it on this side of the board, it probably would be easier to run a wire from here to here. I wonder if these are for programming or something, because they don't seem to be doing anything. No capacitor here, no resistor here. And that's of course it's multi-layer. I don't think it would be, but there is a chance the board could be multi-layer. I don't think it is though. Right, because I'm a little bit worried about the heat there. Well, not worried, but I think it would be nicer if a lot of those wires are going to be gone and they're to help get the heat away from here, I think. I'm just going to flood this area with solder in the hope that it will connect up a few of the wires. So we're back to the isopropyl alcohol to get rid of all these flakes of the old solder mask. Well, let's flood that area, and we'll also tin up these bits here as well. So we're going to put loads of solder on here. Hopefully some of that would have gone through. I don't think I'm going to get a very good connection on that bit here. So I think I'm going to revert back to just going from the diode to the capacitor, and that way then I know it's going to be a good connection. That was my glove, by the way. If it's not my glove, it's my chair. It's never me. Right, let's run some wire. Right, I've got this fancy Nancy box here. This wire is a little bit big, but that's fine. Let's not waste it. It's quite nice because it comes on a little reel that you can just unravel. When I say the wire is a little bit big, what I really mean is it's 20 times too big, but it is very flexible wire. It's stranded and it's also got a kind of rubberized coating, so it's really, really flexible. But you've got to be careful using thick wire like this, because the diode is probably going to be okay, but on the other side with the capacitor, I mean, the cap's pretty big, but if you were to go onto something smaller, there's a good chance the weight of the wire could actually pull away the component or the pad that it's on, and then you've got more work to do for yourself when you have to try and fix that. So don't copy what you see in this video here. The wire I should have used should have been a lot smaller than what you see me using here. Right, I'm going to put it up like this, and that means then I've got flexibility. This is really flexible wire. It's nice. And then it can, I don't care where it goes in the board then. I don't have to measure anything out. It can go that side, it can go this side, it can go flat. So I'm going to leave it quite big. I know it's a lot nicer if I redid the trace on the other side, but those wires are so small. And this way you know that it's going to make a good connection. Part of me is wondering whether or not it could be a multi-layer board and the wires might go to somewhere else. So I might put a very thin wire on the other side. I don't think it's a multi-layer board. It's like a handbag. Let's give that a little clean up. Yeah, it's not going to be a multi-layer board. They've just run it this side here because it's just a nice straight run while there's everything in the way here. So I think what we'll do is let's not put any nail varnish or solder mask on it yet. Let's see if it's working. If it's working, then I think I'll just cover it in nail varnish because there's so much of it here. That will take ages to go off. I did, however, buy a new little light here. I've got a real cheap one from AliExpress. It's not battery operated. It's a USB-C operated, which is fine because I've got a load of power banks always by my desk here. You see there? So you plug it in here and just turn it on. So that probably would set it quite quick, but I've got green nail varnish and I like it, so I'm going to use that. All right, let's put this back in and see if it's going to work. So I'll place the board back in. I'm not going to do up any screws or anything like that. It's purely to see if it works. And the connectors are not idiot proof. So it's a good job I took photos, because then when an idiot like myself goes to put it back together, at least I can do it the way it was done previously. That was my chair. I have to do a trying to fix my chair, I think. Right, I think we're okay to turn this on. Let's see if it's going to go. Ah, my IPA's gone. Surprise, surprise. Right, let's see if you are now going to turn on. So we're in. Oh, the fan. Can the fan spin? Yes, the fan can spin. You ready? Oh, so we've got a flashing on light there. So I don't think we had that before. Oh, look at that. Oh, you beauty. 2 speeds, be careful. 3 speeds. And light. Yay! We got a light! Green? I think it said 7 different lights. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some people have a go at me for counting like that. 5, we'll discuss that in a minute. 6, 7, there are 7 lights. I cannot do this. What? Whoa, 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 turn off, turn off. Oh, hold it down. Brilliant! Fixed it. I can't count like this. 1, 2, 3. I can't get that finger up. Yeah? Without this one. So I always count like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I did that once on a video that went viral. It was my Xbox broke after 2 days or something like that. And the amount of people that commented on that, they were far more interested in that than my video. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't do it. Right, okay, I am going to actually put my gloves back on. Let's cover this up now in nail varnish. And then we'll put it back together. Look at all that. So I've got to get a 24 volt 1 watt adapter for this to work. I may well have a 24 volt 1 watt somewhere, but it's a bit of a strange amount. If it was 12 volt, then I'd have a lot more chance of having it. I love the handbag there. Let's give that a little clean up in here as well. In fact, we'll do that at the end. So let's get the nail varnish on to go, because it can be drying. So that's it now. I just need to slap the green nail varnish around the place and put it all back together. I love my little handbag, and I know with 100% certainty it's going to irritate so many people in the comment section. But the reason I've done it like this is quite simply I measured incorrectly. But also it allows me to put it where it might need to go. Because this is my first time working on this, I didn't put the board back in to see how much room I have, to see if maybe this wire needs to be on the left hand side or the right hand side. But now, because I have about 7 meters spare, I can put it any which way I want, and it is also very flexible. So I'm just slapping the nail varnish around the place, and then I do actually, I'll show you this bit. There's some weird sensor at the bottom, and to me it looks like a piezo buzzer. But yet when I measure it using resistance, it's not coming up. So at this point in the video, I presume the sensor is at the bottom to detect when there's no water in this device, because this device is acting similar to a swamp cooler, I think they might be nicknamed. And it will only cool if it's got cold water inside. So if there's no water there, the machine lets you know that it's run out of water. So I presume it's just measuring the water, but I don't understand because I'm not getting any resistance reading at all. So I'm just going to show you that part of the video, and then we'll cut to the end of the video when it's in the other room, and I can just show you it working when it's all back together. Looks like a piezo buzzer, no? What are you? It's very waterproof with this little seal. Clearly works. Wow, that is covered in scale. So how does that read water? Does it just conductive? Is it between here and here it gets conductive? But you think that this seal is going to cover most of that. I'm just going to type that in and see what it is, because to me it looks like a piezo buzzer. Well, I've typed in JVD1121 on its own. I've done it with water, and I've done it with water sensor, and nothing's coming up. Oh well, I'll have to leave that up to the comment section. I can't tell you if that's faulty or not. So let's just make sure it's nothing on the actual wires. So between here and here. No. Okay. You know, maybe it's measuring some voltage. Maybe it needs to be powered. What we can do is we can see if the red light comes on, and then we can put water in and see if the red light goes off, then we know it's working. I just don't know how that's working. I presume it's measuring between there and there, but I don't really know. Right, I'm going to put this all back together, let that dry for a little bit longer, and then I'll bring the bench power supply into the other room. Hopefully I can show you it working. Oh, look at that. Manufactured 25th of the 12th, 21, on Christmas Day. Wow. I like that. Ta-da! Here we have it all back together, and I gave it a little clean up as well. I filled it with water, and guess what? The light went out. Now, how does it work? Well, I can feel it from here, but if I'm honest with you, when you get to about 1.5 meters away, it's very hard to feel any breeze at all. So it might be fine on your desk on a very hot day, but if it was in your bedroom, I don't think it's going to make much difference. But what is very interesting is, I'm trying to understand, I'm going to watch a video on it, but if you could also put it down in the comments section, how this air conditioning bit works. Because now when I hit this button here, so right now, it just sounds like a normal fan. When I hit this air conditioning button here, the air conditioning light comes on, and it's definitely doing something. To me, it does feel a little bit colder. And I can hear a little bit of splashing around, like a bit of a dripping tap in an echo sort of way. It's just, you can hear just a tiny bit of water moving. So I fully get that if you had a fan and you were blowing it over a bowl of cold water, then that air is going to be a little bit cooler because it's going to be picking up the coldness off the water and making the air a bit colder. If I was to put hot water in here, I'm pretty sure the air coming out would be hot. What I don't understand is, what difference does hitting this button do? What does this do electronically to suddenly activate this feature? Because 100% there's no splashing around now. Listen to this. It just sounds like a normal fan. When I hit this button, you can now see that there's no red light. The red light doesn't come on now. Already I can hear it splashing. It sounds like there's water running. Listen, you probably can't hear that. What's it doing? So that sensor at the bottom clearly is just to let you know there's water in it. But what happens to this when you hit this button? That suddenly makes it splosh around more and makes the air feel a little bit cooler. It's really, really confusing. And we have the lights here. It won't be confusing when I watch a video, or if you could explain it as you would to a 5-year-old. And there's all the colours. Let's put it on green. There you go. Green for Christmas. And how good is it that it's made on Christmas Day? Is that not the perfect start to the Amazon Advent Challenge? So there we have day one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Now I've got to work out roughly what things are worth. Now ideally I'd be going through every single item, selling them on eBay, and then I could give you the exact profit, which I know would be low by the time everybody's taken their cut. But this is just for entertainment. I may well sell things in the future, but I'm not doing them right now because I'm too busy trying to film and edit. So I've got to work out something each day which is a kind of realistic price, but it is only a ballpark figure. Now, if an item is brand new, like the shredder, and it's just got a loose connection, I'd be more than happy to sell that on. I'm going to call it 50% of retail because I think some people might get a bit of a bargain on that. That shredder was £28, so £14 is not bad for the shredder. When it comes to something like the air conditioner, then I wouldn't be happy selling that on because it's water damaged and I don't know if it's going to fail more in the future. But I would be happy to sell it to friends and family. So I'm going to call it 25% of retail. I know they might be a little bit high or in some cases a little bit low depending on the item, but I just need something which is really simple each day. I know it doesn't take into account postage, packaging and everything else that goes along with selling something. So having a look now, that printer right now is £29.99, so inflation has gone in my favour. So it's £30, so I'm calling it £15. When it comes to the desktop air conditioner, I can't find it anywhere, but similar ones are £30, so I'm going to call it £7.50, which is 1/4 of £30. So potentially after day one, we've made £22.50 profit. And I'm going to do the same every single day, and then when we get to the total at the end, I'll let you know what I paid for the pallet of over 300 kilograms of items, and then we can see if we're up, down, or around about the same. It just adds a little bit of fun to it. So that is it. I am going to see you on day two. Please give this one a thumbs up if you liked it, and I'm hoping to see you every single day on the run up to Christmas. Thanks for watching.